Hi, I am Mary Mazur, and this is Change Your Funk to Fun. In this episode, it is You Are Living in Your Perfect Divine Timing. You are living in your perfect divine timing. So we'll be diving into this one. What is divine timing? What is perfect divine timing? How close do you feel like you're really resonating and flowing in that? And if you're not, we're going to help you assist with that with the gift of Psyche and what that can offer for you. I am inviting a Psyche facilitator in, so she will be coming onto my show now, and she's welcome to come on in, Sabina Roach, and she and I will be dancing here together. So there you are. Hello, Sabina.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited
Oh,
to be able to talk with you and just to be here. Thanks.
oh, oh, you're very welcome. I love it, love it, love it. Yay! So I know you and I both love Psyche. And then
Yes,
yes. People new to my show, they don't know what Psyche is. We'll definitely be dropping in what it does and how it's helped you personally, how it's helped me personally, and all those that we serve, right? It's a precious divine tool, right? That we get to utilize and use to help expedite ourselves, right? And clear out our limiting beliefs and help anchor in who we really are here and to live more in the flow, more in our perfect divine timing, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yay! So, would you like to share a little bit about yourself before we dive into the divine timing? Just about who you are, what you love, and even what you love about Psyche, and then we'll definitely be jumping in with timing.
So, my name is Sabina Roach, and Psych K came into my life about 5 years ago. And I was thinking this morning about how the more I change my limiting beliefs, the more I grow and become more of the person. I love this opportunity that I get to choose who I want to be. And that doesn't mean I discard who I was before. It just means I get to bring in more of what I want. And it just has made life for me so much. Sometimes when people get out of the hospital, they talk about how colors are brighter, how their connections with others are deeper. And that's how I feel about my life since Psyche has come into it. So that's just a little bit about my experience. I have the opportunity now to serve other people by facilitating Psyche and helping people get unstuck and and create momentum in their lives. So for some people they talk about changing their mindset and and I love what we're going to talk about today because I think it's a really important part of the whole process, which is this divine timing. When are things supposed to happen? What are we supposed to do? How hard are we supposed to try? And what happens when things get in our way? And I'm just excited. So there we are. That's a little bit about me.
Oh, thank you. So welcome, welcome. I love it, love it, love it. Yes, and I love that you and I are both Psyche facilitators that do. We help all those that are ready, and that's the secret. When you are ready for the changes, you'll find us, and that's why they'll be listening to us today too. And the door is open. It's just up to them to take the step. That just takes the courage and willingness to say yes, and begin to start making those changes, and begin to start remembering again who we really are. Yeah, isn't that great?
Yes, it's so wonderful. I
Yes.
love that courage part that you talk about. Just even the courage part to think about it. It's just we have it all within us. That's what I love about this whole process and about meeting you and helping you helping me bring that out in myself more. So there we are.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So let's start talking about divine timing. And yeah, we can even bring up even what timing is because it's an interesting concept. I'll share how I feel about it and would love to have you share how you feel. And, you and I dance and we dance beautifully of bringing out these
Me
beautiful
too.
ideas, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'll even share divine timing actually came to me in the middle of the night one time. I don't think I even shared that with you, but yeah, they did. There was like four different energies that did that over me over a period of time after I had learned Psyche and I was really expanding mightily. is in the middle of the night, I felt this energy and I was like, oh, what is this energy? Like waking up, like, okay, who are you and what is this? You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And I guess that happened to me when I started, when I went to the advanced workshop with Psych K, then things just really opened up. I have a very thin veil, so I tend to connect very easily to higher
Mhm.
consciousness, and which is great because it can give us a lot of more help here easily, which I'm glad.
Uh-huh.
So it was actually divine timing that actually came into my body vessel and like filled me up. And I even asked, okay, so who are you? What are you? Because I could tell you're not like a human or person or someone I'm here to help. This is way bigger. It's a way bigger consciousness. And it was, yeah, it was divine timing. I'm like, oh, no, how interesting is this?
Mm.
And what it wanted to do with me is to become one with it. And so I used Psyche, the tool of Psyche, to do that, to balance within myself, become whole brain. And that's actually what we're going to offer here today. What I want to offer is anyone that's listening today, and they don't even have to know Psyche to do this. Psyche just helps a lot greatly. It absolutely does. And if it's in their readiness, they can speak it in, they can embody it in their own unique way, however they're meant to. So I did it in the middle of the night where I just became one with my divine timing. Like meaning I am who I am and I am the creator of my life. So timing, what timing helps show me is timing is a creation that we as humans created here, because in the human construct of the third dimension, we have a linear construct, the past, the present, and the future. And the
Right.
gift with that is because it lets us see our progression. You know, it lets us to see
Right.
where we were, where we are right now, and where we're going. And it helps us because we are creators here to create goals. Because if we haven't achieved things yet, then it helps us. It does help us, keep us motivated, has us be like, are we living where we're excited about life? Are we living in the wonder and the joy and that, oh, like, what do I want to do today? Or what would I like to do this year or
Mhm.
these next 5 years, right? This is
Yes.
how we're meant. This is how we're meant to be in this world. We're meant to be childlike. We're meant to be that trusting surrender, that yes, and then begin to speak it in, begin to feel it, and then begin to go live it. And it all got mucked up, thousands of years ago in the human construct. Probably about 12,000 years
Yes.
ago. And it's okay, because even in with the perfect divine timing, it's all perfect. That's what's hilarious about this whole thing, is when we can get to that highest level of recognizing everything is actually perfect, because we just are all experiencing here. And we can turn anything we don't like into anything good. And that's what Psyche helps you do, right? So
Right.
the more, and things are speeding up really fast. So the timing of things are moving really quickly than they ever have been before. And it literally is coming us to wake up and remember, at the highest level, we actually are divine timing, which means we're the creators of whatever we want to experience. And we do that in a time construct of a past, present, future. So it's like,
Mhm.
whoo, being able to realize what I can actually, yeah, right. You
Make
in
it
the
all.
gift, make it all, exactly. And
Yeah.
you use whatever you learned from the past. That's the key. Whatever you did go through is all here for you. Even if it was really hurtful, wounded, crappy, blah, blah, blah. We all experienced the wounds. We did. Because we
Yes.
all were born at this time where that was happening. Right? And now we're changing it. So I guess at the biggest level, highest level, I just want to say, at the highest level, we already are the divine perfect timing. That's just going to the highest level. And then we're going to bring it down to just the third dimension, the human part. What the heck does that even mean? How the heck can we actually get to that point where we live in the flow and we actually can manifest? And this is what we're all in the journey for, to speak in what we want, to recognize how we want to feel it, and then go live it. Like literally, that's what we're moving into. And we're still not there yet. I mean, you and I even included, we're still
Yes.
edging in, and we're figuring out what we can do to help ourselves get there. So we're on the journey too with everybody else. That's the gift with all of this. And it's I love it because I'm excited about it now, because with the tool of Psyche, which is huge, because then I know I can make any changes that are blocking me from believing that. And that's the huge gift. So yeah, so how do
I
you feel
love
about this
how
idea of it? Yeah.
I love how you we you talk about it's there and it's part of us. And it's it's just who we are. We don't have to earn it. We don't have to struggle to get it. In fact, the more we just and ask, then that's the key. That is our connection. But just that it's there, and we are already connected with our divine timing, and we deserve it or are worthy of it, which is just the most beautiful starting point, I think, that we can come to it. I liked how you said that.
Yeah, no, you're hitting it. You're hitting it right on there. Exactly. And a lot of us agree to believe the contrast where we don't have the worthiness. We don't believe we deserve it. We think, and then many of us are so constructed in the survival and then the suffering, pain, the denser energy consciousness experiences. We're waiting for when is the next shoe going to drop? Even if good things are happening, oh, when is something going to fall apart, or when is something going to go? Because maybe in their past things happen like that, where even when things get good, then something wow happens, especially the unexpected, because we don't know anything that's going to happen, right?
Yes, and it's just this way. I feel like the way you said it was, I was in my car and it was foggy, and all you did is just cleared off the fog for me to see that this is possible for me. This is possible for all of us right
Yeah.
now.
Yes, that's exactly it. And it's huge. And it's in our readiness. So it's anyone's readiness when they and that the gift of all of the painful, hurtful, crappy things,
Mhm,
funky things, we call this change your funk,
mhm.
right? Things that
Yep.
have happened, yeah, they are all here for us too, because it gives us the extreme of the contrast, the opposite of who we really are, so that it can wake us up, because it's up to us to decide when we want to change and when we want to move into our own divine timing, meaning the flow of life, the synchronicities, that whatever I'm desiring, they come naturally and easily to me. Like, how beautiful is that, right? When we can live in abundance, live in freedoms, live in the joy and the love and the bliss and the peace that we are being called to live in. This is what we're being moved into.
And we get the call all the time. You get that knock on the door of when all of a sudden you say, "Oh, I really wish I knew what to do." And then all of a sudden you're talking to someone in line at the grocery store and they say to you, "Oh, I just went and I talked to this person who had this really great job." And they start talking to you about it. And while you're standing there, you think, that is the perfect job for me. And I never would have even known that that was a possibility. But you know what? We write that off. We write that off. Oh, it was coincidence. And we don't give it, but that's it talking to us and saying, here I am. Here I am. I'm ready for you. I'm here for you. Just ask. Mhm.
Exactly. And then the key comes in for us, which is beautiful, is raising our level of awareness,
Yep.
raising our level of consciousness. And Psyche does tremendous. That's exactly what it does. Helps you leap your level of consciousness. So you can become aware of those and then catch it. And then the gift is moving into like the joy and the gratitude, like, oh, and you recognize, wow, this just slipped in. Those synchronicities, right?
Yes.
The gateways of the flow. And then when you can be open to receive, and that's our feminine energy opening up, is to say and to know you're worthy of it, to know you deserve it, right? Is
Yes.
tremendous. So we're gonna do one more way. So and that exactly, and then that's the gift. So and then we're going to take stepping stones. So that's what we're going to be helping people here do. The key is meet yourself where you are, recognize where you are, and then be truthful. And I know writing is good. I love to write things down. I have so many journals. It's like hilarious, right? But and it
Mhm.
helps me. But because when you get an idea down, it's nice to capture it. So start capturing things. That's a big one. Start writing down. And then sometimes people might think, yeah, but who's going to read it? So what? Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever's meant to come. Everything's meant to come out. So we'll be talking
Yes.
about that. What can we do to start digging in what's really bugging people, bothering them, stressing them out? Because those are all there for them to help them leap up into their divine timing so they can live more in the flow. We're helping
Because
people here with to connecting into their perfect divine timing. And yeah, and right, we just talked about what is divine timing, and now we're going to be stepping into more of our own personal stories of how we've had to deal with our own issues with divine timing, right? We could call it
that
issues,
sounds,
right?
yes, yes. I was thinking about how I know that I'm in my divine timing, that I really, for me, I try to connect to my body. And it just feels it's not like I even have to say to myself, exhale. It's
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's almost like there is no boundary between my skin and the outside or my heart and the outside. It just all works. And it's like the perfect temperature, and everything is just smooth and easy. And when I'm not in divine timing, I'm trying really hard, or I'm overthinking it. So that's how I know that I'm there. I don't know. How do you know?
Mhm. Yeah, and I think it's great. You're right. I connect into how I'm feeling. Yeah, like you say, and
Uh-huh.
I just feel, yeah, and am I feeling excited? Am I feeling excited for my day? Am I
Hmm.
feeling? Because then I know with divine timing that I am living my true essence. I am being who I'm choosing to be, and
Hmm.
vibrating in that. So with divine timing for me is even like waking up in the morning. And even if I feel funky in the morning, I'll use Psyche to balance for that, because sometimes I will do that too, especially with the dreams I've had. And then connect in. So the key comes in is connecting in with who I am. So I actually, with divine timing and myself, is I check in with myself. Like, how am I? Like, how am I really
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
me and my timing? Because I'm the creator of my timing. I'm actually
Yes.
it. When I know that I'm in sync with it, when I know that I'm in harmony with it, exactly, then then my day flows. I feel good. And you're right,
Yeah.
like exactly what you said. I'm not making anything happen. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not struggling. I used to struggle with time. I used to race time, chase time. I was actually late a lot. I would be late. I couldn't understand why people were early. I'm like, why would you do that? So I'd be like 10
Uh-huh.
minutes late or whatever. I got it, whatever, because I was just messing with time. I don't know what I was doing. It was really hilarious.
Yeah.
Now I'm early, which is hilarious because I have opened myself up to knowing that because I know like I am my timing. So everything
Hmm.
is on my timing, which is my divine timing, meaning I'm connecting into it. Things are going to work out. And so if I am late sometimes, or if things don't work out the way I want, or they don't come in the timing that I want them, that is the gift to me, to surrender, and that's what I offer for myself. So I allow myself connecting in of just feeling good. I guess that's the best thing to say. When I'm
Hmm.
just feeling good and I feel like things are in the flow, things are like, wow, things are really good. And we'll go through that. We'll go through that cycle. Like, what cycle are we in? Sometimes we're down in the low part and then we'll come up to the high. And I like actually just
Right.
flowing now. So I don't have to go deep low or deep high. How about we just continue to gradually go up, and then we just kind of go like
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I call my divine timing of like, ooh,
Hmm.
because we are human, so we do want to honor ourselves. Of that, it's okay to play with that. We have a past, a present, and a future because we do here. That's what we constructed here. And so, it's great when we can step into being grateful for our past. I know there's many times I wasn't at all, and I was mad about things that happened, horrible, like especially traumatic things that we did. Psyche can help greatly with that, because
Hmm.
you get to use the gateway of forgiveness at the subconscious level, opening your heart, and then anchoring in our self worth, anchoring in the unconditional love of who we are, the contentment of who we are. These pieces, right? So that we can so that when I think of my past, I now see it as, wow, okay, what did I learn from that? What didn't work well that I could switch to be better,
Yeah.
right? And then,
Yeah.
and this is what I used to do. I don't do it so much anymore now, but I used to definitely like take each segment of the past, the present, and then what I want in the
Hmm.
future. Well, as we continue to evolve in our consciousness,
Hmm.
the shifting is that we literally are living more in the now moment. So that's what I'm doing more now. I'm living in the present moment. So my
Hmm.
divine timing is my present moment. My divine timing is right now, right now.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
we create the next now moment. That's it. Like, what? Yeah.
And I think about creating, that's all that we have to do. So I know what I want my life to look like, kind of, like I have a vision of how I want to feel, what I want to surround myself in a couple years. But I know that that will take care of itself with my divine timing, because my divine timing just shows me the next step, the
Yes.
next step, and the next step. And that just makes the whole process so much easier.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, absolutely. So this
it's
is a
so nice.
whole new way of looking at timing, right? Because I think we were
Yes.
taught timing was like you have to set your goals. You've got to,
Yep.
schedule. I was a scheduler. I kept, what am I doing this week? What am I doing each day? I boom, 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 boom. And it was very logical. It was in my left hemisphere of my brain, my masculine energy. And those pieces are helpful, important, and it does keep you organized and structured. So the
Mhm.
gift comes in with divine perfect timing. What I would call is that you actually unite your feminine and masculine together. They come together.
Yeah.
So we just got overpowered with timing to have a conception of it to be more in a masculine way of how we use time and thought of time and conceptualize time. What we're offering here is the unity consciousness principle of letting the unity of masculine and feminine come together with divine timing, where the feminine is in the now moment. We're in the now moment here. It's every now moment. We're in the openness and the freedom and the spontaneity and the creation of everything. So it's putting the two pieces together is actually the perfect divine timing is the two coming together.
So do you have an example recently of how you've put the two together? I don't know, in a relationship or with your health circumstance or something that you've done recently.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, and actually, I did. It was
Sure,
really
I
pretty
want to
amazing.
know. I
I
want to
know.
know.
Uh, all right. So, and I was married for 31 years with a beautiful husband, and I have 4 children. It was a beautiful family for the construct people would call my past. I call it like another lifetime, actually.
Uh-huh.
I'm like creating a whole new life for me now. And then I had to listen to my spirit because and he's my ex now. We just went through a divorce over 4 months. And as
Mhm.
far as divine timing with that is that I listened within myself of the timing of when I need to take my next step. So last year, and this has been going on probably 7, 8 years where I could just tell we're really just outgrowing each other in different ways. We've just decided to go in different directions. And
Uh-huh.
to become honest with that, right? And to have it become healthy and from love. That was my intention with this change and working with my divine timing with this. So last year was when it happened kind of 4 years ago where I thought I was ready to move on and thought, okay, maybe it's time. I just need to be single and be on my own. But we decided to stay 4 more years. But then last year I got the nudge, and I just basically got the nudge within me. It's kind of ideas or feeling, it's kind of recognition of what's going on that like we just co-parent or we're just kind of roommates, but we're
Mm.
not connected. And even whatever we do, we don't even have any connection anymore.
Yeah.
And I just listened to my internal guidance, and that was my feminine energy actually came in and just said, it's okay, take your time. Everything's going to unfold at the right moment, and which was not my normal way. I used to be very fast, more my masculine, get things done really fast, and I was very direct and like, hey, if I got to speak at me, I just need to have a talk with him, and then boop, 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 and then it probably would have
Hmm.
been pretty messy, and people still do it that way. Instead, I listen to my divine timing. And so, which means I let my masculine and feminine come in, and I let my ideas come in with is my masculine part, and then my feelings come in with my feminine part about
Uh-huh.
what to do. And then I use Psyche to balance so that I can be in my peace about this and to be able to speak my truth. And I balanced a goal so that I could easily speak my truth, easily speak how I am. So I probably got the nudge about the end of August, early September within myself. And then it wasn't until
Mhm.
December. So that's the September, October, November. So about 3 months later, 3, 4 months later, where my spirit just said, yes, time to bring this into the physical. So it's because we had, all of us, we're in our minds, we're in our hearts, we're kind of in this other world, but we have to actually live it here and be here. So I did, and
Yes.
I actually told him on our anniversary. It was our 31st wedding anniversary in the morning at 8 a.m.
Mhm.
Only because I knew I'd get his full attention because he's kind of been in his own world, and then I've been living my own
Mhm.
world, and we just haven't really been able to connect very easily. So I got his full attention, which is really amazing, and it actually felt really good because I finally was able to speak my truth, speak it out of love, and it was this is all good, but we were so programmed in this world, especially with religious beliefs and things. No, you stay with somebody so one of you
Yes.
dies, and you stay together no matter what, even if it's just not very calm, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I have to speak my
Mhm.
truth. We both need to be living our own, beautiful, loving, free ways. And then it took like 2 more months until I actually filed. So I just listened to my divine timing. So that means I listened to my internal intuition of when it felt right to file for it, to move forward. And then that was February, but then it just finished last Tuesday. You know, um, over Zoom. Like it just everything just went so smoothly. And then we went on a family vacation the following week with my sisters and my nieces and with my ex and my kids, and we had a great time. So it's like I know we're still a family. We'll always be a family. We love each other dearly. We just don't have to have the roles. I just took off my wife hat. He took off his husband hat. We don't have any of
Yeah.
that. We don't have any of the financial connections anymore. No, I can take care of myself. You take care of yourself. So I think it was a nice example of the divine timing that I actually went slower than I typically do because I think my human ego self would have wanted to go a lot faster. And
Hmm.
it was like a whole evolution of time, like 8 months or whatever of right. And then I connected in when it was the right time to talk, when it was the right time to take a physical action. And so that's the gauges that we're opening up within ourselves is to check in when it feels right. And that this is something that's important for you to do. You have a right to do that. You get to do what feels right for you. This is it. And that's your divine timing is putting it into the physical, is bring it here, do it.
I feel like we live in a world where there's so much information and there's so many experts out there who are going to tell you, you do it this way, this way, this way. And what I hear you saying and what I know I live in, what through Psyche is, I'm going to stop and listen to myself and listen to that. Just sometimes you close your eyes, sometimes you just know, sometimes it just pops up. And
Mm-hmm.
then I hear that you used Psyche if there was anything that you weren't feeling unsure about or you didn't quite know, then you balanced to help you stay connected and in the flow of what you know you needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And I transformed my perceptions, which was another important piece with Psyche, because I would feel so many things. So I felt the guilt, I felt the shame of breaking up our family, and leaving him. It's like all these pieces, you're leaving me, or even
Hmm.
my kids, you're leaving us. Those are just shameful vibrations that we're used to attachments, and we're used to you're supposed to follow the rules of the world and blah blah blah, right? Instead of listening to your own self and your own intuition, right? So, yeah.
And when you transform those perceptions, you're not doing it and saying, I don't care about anyone. It's this, you're transforming them for your highest good, but for everyone's highest good. And
Exactly.
that's what's so freeing and exciting about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly it. You're not in your ego self where you're only doing things just for your own self. No, you're working with your
Mhm.
higher self with using
Yep.
Psyche. It's a spiritual process. You work with your basically angelic aspect of you, your divineness, the one that yeah is ideal for helping us get going here. And the gift is right. So I shifted from guilt, shame, fears because there was a lot of fears about
Mhm.
because I was never on my own. I always lived, with my family or with a girlfriend and then with my husband. So now I'm on my own. It actually feels really great. But I had to change my perception that it's safe, that I'm always taken care of. I'm always provided for. I am successful, that I am able to help take care of myself completely. I had to reconstruct those things at the subconscious level. So Sabina, where have you been? Where did you fall short with your divine timing in your life that Psyche helped you? So now you can be in more of your divine timing.
Well, can I share about something that I'm going through now with my divine timing? And maybe by me talking about it and how I'm thinking about it and working through, other people can, we can, you can help me, but also other people can see like what it really looks like in real time. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that a lot of people have health issues. And and so I chose to focus on a health issue. So I have varicose veins, and they're achy and itchy, and and I know that my beliefs create my biology. And so I've said, this is what I want. I want to heal this. I want to heal my veins, which are this manifestation of what has been going on to help that created them. And
Hmm.
so I did something where I said, okay, if I can talk to my veins, what would they say to me? And what they said is, you think you have to be just like all of the women in my family have had varicose veins, all of them. Their legs were blue, and that I had to be just like them. And and I I had this image of my veins strangling me and making my life painful, because that's what happens. And so I've done some balances that I am, I respect and honor those who came before me, but I choose my own life. And I've done balances for that. Um, but I know when people work with me for health issues, that we're not saying you shouldn't use Western medicine. You shouldn't to take steps if that's what you feel called to, or, but, but then people are like, well, when is it going to happen? Right? That's what we want, is like, when are my veins going to disappear? Yes, we
Right.
want to happen now. There are so many things we want to happen. First, we want to know when they're going to happen, when it's going to happen. And we want it to happen right. Well, actually, we wanted it to happen yesterday. So then all of that kind of thing. So, and Mary, I know you worked with your veins. What
Yes.
was your experience?
I know, and that's so exciting. So thank you for sharing this. This is huge. Yeah. So I did traditional medicine with my left leg because my mom also had varicose veins. She got her veins stripped 3 times. She had 12
Yes.
children too. Blah blah
Oh
blah.
my God.
Yeah. Well, and then right, I started having varicose veins when I started having kids too. So same thing. I probably thought, and we were programmed that we get what our parents have, right? We just get programmed that.
Right.
So I began
Right.
changing that I released those programs that my mom had. I can have a different body. So I did that too. And then in the higher levels of psyche, the health and well-being workshop, when I was there, I connected in and received the messages. What were the messages? Like you said, what are the veins trying to
Yes.
tell me? They're here to tell me something. It's expressing for a reason. It's happening for a reason. And what
Uh-huh.
came for me, the left leg, I just went and had surgery. That was before I even knew Psyche, because that's what you do, right? You go have surgery like my mom
Right.
did, right? And it was
Uh-huh.
very painful. It was outpatient. It was excruciatingly painful, ridiculous, ridiculous. Okay, so that's the
Compression
left leg.
stockings.
Yeah, no, I know, right? But even the surgery itself, like he just like, injected the vein. It was so painful, and then it was like, and then ripped each piece out. I'm like, well, okay, why did I choose to experience that?
Yes.
Hilarious,
Uh-huh. Yes.
right? Yeah. So then I said, all right, well, let's just try this other way, with psychic. And
Uh-huh.
you're right. And hey, and whatever you want to do, you can do, because I've done both, and I prefer
Mhm.
psychic.
Me too.
So what I did with my right leg is I just it was overwhelmed. So I was overwhelmed, and that's what the veins are, overwhelmed. So they're like this, right?
Shing.
So I
Yep.
shifted, transformed my perception of overwhelmed, and I started changing my perception of my life. I was very like fast. I felt like I didn't have enough time. That was the whole time constraint.
Mhm.
And I was rushing, 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 and trying to do way too many things. So my veins were just showing me all of that. So I changed my lifestyle. I quit being a nurse. I retired as a nurse, working night shift and running all day. And right, I had to change what I was doing in my life too. And for me, those were the pieces that I put in. And then I allowed myself, instead of feeling overwhelmed all the time, how do I want to be instead, right? I
Mhm.
am at peace. I have all the time I need. I have all the time. And I do what I do now is I do things in the flow. I do things in the divine timing. So that brought in the
Mhm.
divine timing again. And my whole right leg completely healed itself completely. And it probably took about maybe 4 to 6 months or so. But it
Mhm.
was just
Mhm.
like, you see that my two legs, you will not see any difference. One with surgery, that it all got cleaned up, and that's one way to do it. You can do it that way. That's what I did that left leg, and the right leg was the way I just did it, with changing perceptions in my mind.
Yes. And uh, I think that's, we talk about timing, and I like how you said it took 4 to 6 months. Or if something isn't happening, all of a sudden you can say, huh, why? And then you listen for the answer. Because lots of times when you're in divine timing, the answer you get is just let it be. Or sometimes you get the answer of, you're still a little overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and that's, and I think when earlier you said, how do you connect to that? Psyche helps us balance for how to make those changes, but also how to listen to ourselves. And how you
Mm-hmm.
said, you can journal about it. But also, I know both of us feel like just being outside and being quiet and listening to the birds or putting our feet in the ground, that
Mm-hmm.
allows us to be able to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. And those are important pieces. Yeah, Psyche is just a tool to help you reprogram your subconscious mind. And it's vital that we are in nature, that we open
Yeah,
up time for ourselves, that we put ourselves first. Take care of yourself first. That's the whole issue with health. And that's a great
yeah.
one to balance for using Psyche. And I've done that for myself. In fact, I even put a goal in for my subconscious to run, and now it runs, is that I give myself permission to be divinely selfish. And I did. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
Yes, and I'm divinely selfish, which means love comes first. Love comes first within me, for me, that I give it freely, and that I am it, and then that I can be selfish with. I can have as much love as I want because it's infinite and it's unconditional. Yes, meaning, and then that it's vital that I get to put myself first. I have to put my oxygen mask on first before I can put on anyone else, like if we're in an airplane, right? You do. But we were
Yes.
not programmed that, especially women. We were programmed to put ourselves last and to sacrifice and the coping skills we created. Yeah, I'm reading this book. It's a really good book, Five Personality Patterns. It talks about our survival
Yeah.
coping skills when we're overwhelmed. And so overwhelm's a
Yes.
the thing with the veins too. And I was a leaver. I left my body very early because I was like, I'm out of here. It's not safe here. I don't feel comfortable here. So
Mhm.
I have like the thinner frame, so that shows that. And I'm also a compensating merger, or I use that because now I've resolved it. I received the gifts and the gems from it because it's all gifts. But
Yeah.
when we're overwhelmed for emergence, I would be a rescuer for others or try and save everybody else. That's like becoming a nurse, becoming a mom, even
Mhm.
becoming a wife, caring for everybody, right? So, and that's what my yeah. So it's nice when you can
And now you're
heal
caring for
yourself.
yourself.
Exactly. So now I do it for myself, and I give everybody else responsibility to do it for themselves. Oh heck yeah! I am not responsible for anybody else. Not at all. Not at all. And I love it because I help people when they're ready and they're doing the changes with Psyche, not me. I just hold the space for them and offer them the tool for them to be able to use it. And like, it's magic. It's beautiful. So I'm like so grateful.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So sometimes, though, people feel like everything is happening to them, that they're a victim with
Mm-hmm.
all of, with everything that's happened. And how have you worked with anyone who has been there? How do you see the whole victim part of life and psyche?
Yeah, it's a huge piece. It's a huge piece because yeah, just about everyone here, I believe, has had the victim. A lot of it, the victim. Yes, there have been people that have been the bully, right? They've been on the other side. So if you're more victimized and you're connected or in a relationship with someone who's a narcissist, right? Then that's like the two opposite sides. And yet narcissists are actually have very low self-esteem, probably even lower than the one who's feeling victimized, believe it or not. The victim person is actually holding that space for them, trying to hope they'll change and want to be better, which is
Right.
really amazing dynamics. That the key for those, one is to recognize it. That's the first key. And that's what I did for
Mhm.
myself because I definitely felt like I had the victim image, especially being sexually abused as a little girl. That's a huge one. And then
Mhm.
just being afraid of my dad being an alcoholic, just drinking a lot and very
Yeah.
unpredictable. That I felt quite victimized. And then I got really feisty, especially being a woman. I got in the women's movement, like they're not treating women
Mhm.
right, and that kind of stuff, right? I definitely threw into that one too. And then a lot of times we'll get into the opposites, like you're bad. Why are you doing this to me? And blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like it's like that opposite opposing. All that's showing us is that it's actually our internal conflict within our own masculine, feminine within ourselves. And that's the amazing
Yeah.
part. Because anything happening in your outside world is actually just a reflection of what's going on within you. What internal conflicts are you having within you? So
Mhm.
if you're feeling victimized, if you are ready for the changes, you have to be ready for the changes because you can still stay suffering and in pain and in survival, and we get free will choice, so everybody gets to choose
Yeah.
how they want to be. And that's why it's beautiful now, because I'm not here to change anybody now, where I used to be, because I did do that. That was my coping skill. But now I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, and I can recognize if they're in that. And my role is just to unconditionally love and accept them. I'm like, okay, it's just their choice. When they have the awareness that they're tired of it, that's when the change happens.
Mhm.
And that's when they'll find psyche. Because they're like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of like not being treated well, or blah, 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 or right, I'm ready to get out of a marriage, which I was ready to get out of, to live right in more of just the love and the peace and the freedoms. So it's the victim energy is an aspect of our love. It's just in a very contracted energy, believing that we're
Yeah.
not good enough, believing there's something wrong with us, believe that there's something against us, or that we don't have any, we're not rooted into knowing that we are in our own personal power, that we're the creators of our lives. They don't even have that. They think it's just happening to them. They're the victims. They're helpless. They're hopeless. Finishing up here, this is the last little segment for today, so that people can reach out to us and they can actually get the help, because that's everything. And that's actually a perfect divine timing. Is the divine timing is the perfect, is when you decide, it's your decision to make a choice to say, I'm ready for a change. That's huge. And then to actually go do it. And Psyche is one of the best, fastest ways that you can help yourself with the change, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, oh, absolutely. So how can they reach you, Sabina? Because you offer private Psyche sessions, right?
I do. I work one on one with people, and you can reach me at my website, innerpowergrowthcoaching.com. That's innerpowergrowthcoaching.com. And I work one on one with people for one session, or if you want to come back. What I find beautiful about Psyche, Mary, is the more you do it, the more you live in your divine timing. And
Mm.
I work one on one with people. So oftentimes people will come for one session, and after a couple of weeks, they'll say, well, when do I come again? And I say, you'll know when to come again. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll, once you start to tap into that and to be able to change your beliefs, then it's this flow. And after you work one on one with me, or I know you work one on one with people, then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people decide to take a workshop. And that's where your beautiful light shines when in workshops. All right.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you. Yes, and that's the gift here, is that people can get the help. The help is here, and that's where we're
Yes.
we're here to help serve in this beautiful, great way. And that's good. It's a gift of love. It's a gift of the change agent for people to wake up to the love of who they are, right? To sink in, to live in the divine timing of who they are. Absolutely. So thank you. I'm glad they can reach out one more time. Your website, so people can
Inner
reach out.
innerpowergrowthcoaching.com.
I love that. Innerpowergrowthcoaching.com. Perfect. Yay. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes.
Thank you, Mary.
Absolutely. And then if anyone does want to work with me, as I do offer private sessions too, and then exactly what we'll be talking about is the workshops. That's the big main one. Is they can go to my website, igniteandhealyourlife.com. So that's igniteandhealyourlife.com. Igniteandhealyourlife.com. And then you can click on and learn more. We have videos on our website where they can, Bruce Lipton's on there, and others that you can, because some people may want to learn the science of it, or what is or how it can really work, and testimonies and the people that I have served. So yeah, so we've served hundreds and hundreds of people, and it's such a gift. And I had three clients this morning before we got on today, and I'm still buzzing from it. Like when I work with people, I get like it gets me high. And that's the best
Yes.
part, right? Like, it's like, wow, what a gift. And they help me. And we're all here to help each other. Like, it's so beautiful. The things that we work with and the things that we do, it's really precious. And I know we're a gift to each other. And that's the beauty of it all, right? Mm-hmm.
And as a facilitator, we're not doing anything to the people we work with. We're just helping them discover it. We are really the facilitator, the person who's just like, hey, here you go. Go ahead and do it. And we're there to support them.
Yeah, exactly. And then they make the changes. So that's the gift is when you, and that lets you know how powerful you are. And each one is that powerful. Yes, they're just ready to unlock whatever's limiting or blocking them and then bring it. And they find out what they're truly wanting, desiring, and seeking. And that's the gift when their wisdom comes in. And then they really, and then they go bring it into their lives and the lives begin to change like you and I have done for our own selves. So, which is
Yes,
awesome. Yes. And then
powerful.
whenever you're ready to come to a workshop, like I know you've done, have you done all the workshops then with Psyche?
I have done every single workshop.
Yay.
Yes, yes. And
That-
everyone, you get something, you know what? Each one comes to you for your in your divine timing.
right. That's exactly it. And you do it in your own divine timing. Absolutely.
Yep.
So the beginning one, I teach the beginning, the basic workshop, which is the first workshop. And then I offer in-person and online workshops. So that way, if you want to come in person, then that means you want to work with yourself and others because you're going to be working with others. And that's the gateway to all the rest of the workshops. So that's the most, I guess, the easiest route. People that are just ready to just work with themselves, then come to the online and you get to do it in the convenience through Zoom. And you still get equal results. You're going to begin with yourself first until you are ready to either go to level 2 online, which you can work with others through Zoom, or come to the in-person basic. So I love that we get to meet people right where they are. Yeah. So
And
I,
wherever they live, wherever they live. So
yeah,
maybe some people aren't ready to do a workshop, but they're kind of interested. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are. We work with people in person, but we also, one of the great gifts of the last few years is that we can do it via Zoom or via the phone. And
yeah, yeah.
it's just as powerful and effective that way.
Right. And it works just as equally. That's the amazing part because it's not about us. It's not even about Psyche. It's about their readiness. And then they're ready. So then they connect in with their higher aspects of themselves that helps them remove those pieces that were blocking them. I know it's magical. So I'll share when my next workshops are in case anyone wants to come. I'm teaching next weekend, July 21st to the 23rd in Idaho, Boise, Idaho. So if people are ready, we still have spots left. You can come on in there. And then I am teaching an online workshop. Those that want to begin at the online level and just working with themselves first, that's at the end of July. So July 28th to the 30th, they can begin with themselves. In August 4th to the 6th, I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's kind of Midwest area. And in September, I'll be teaching in Toronto, Florida, and Alaska. So whoever wants to be going there, how fun is that, right? Woo! And then in October, end of October, I'll be in Berkeley, California. So go to my website, igniteandhealyourlife.com to look more. And then like this, listen, this is the divine timing. When you're getting the nudge, it's a gentle nudge. This is a gentle nudge. And we love it when people say yes to it. And you'll be so grateful that you did. I know I am forever grateful. And I know you are too, right?
I
For all that we
am.
are. We are. So this has been an absolutely amazing time with you, Sabina. It went so fast, right? With divine timing. Is that hilarious?
Oh, fast. Thank you so much, Mary, for having me on. If anyone lives in the Philadelphia area, I'd love to work with you in person. And Mary, I hope we get to do this again sometime soon.
I would love it. Love to have you again. All right. You all have a beautiful day.